Someone forgot to change the video.
That's honestly for the best.
Oh my god, that stupid fucking video. Oh, well, let me fix that real quick.
I don't know why you'd ever want to change that.
God damn it. That's definitely a thing I did. Oh shit. Um Matthew, how are you this
I'm pretty good.
morning?
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm tired, but I'm doing well.
You got your leaves done, I saw.
Yeah. No, but Doug helped out. Doug and I were sitting downstairs and just talking. He was giving me the brother-in-law update,
Oh yeah.
which
Oh.
is like getting an encapsulation of a season of Cops. Um, and then I was like, okay, I
Truly, he embodies
the
the
worst of
state of
us.
our nation.
Oh God. So Doug was like, or I said, I really got to get this stupid stuff done, and he was like, do you want to go choring? And I was like, do I want to? I would love to go choring, Doug. So Doug has become my favorite choring partner.
Aw.
Don't tell Cassandra. She will kill me in my sleep. So we went out and he did the beds with my um I hate this term, blower sucker mulcher.
I mean,
It sucks for me because that thing makes me stoop so low to use it. I needs an extension on it. So in the end, I already caused one person to stop watching, just talking about choring. Um,
well,
so he
they heard blowing fucking mulching and
they did. They were like, "I'm out. I'm out." And I did. I just used the mulcher on the mower. So filled the yard waste bin and then filled 6 bags.
dang.
And I had already mulched the yard with the backyard with the mower twice before. And
Wow.
it still leaves. There some more leaves fell this morning, and I was just
Oh
like,
yeah, I
I'm
mean
done. I'm done.
our our neighbor's tree hasn't really even dropped anything yet. So
That's crazy. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That's crazy, baby. All right. I want to work on something this morning together.
oh yeah,
Me and you, Holmes.
okay,
I want to work on some Star Wars because I have Star Wars tomorrow night.
all right.
So I'm gonna present my screen.
I got
Present,
an hour to give you, so I will give you what I can.
present screen. Also, Matthew, thank you for bringing this beautiful bounty you brought yesterday.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
I'm gonna hold off till Tuesday to open said bounty,
Ah.
but I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited. Oh. All right. So I was just watching the end of last episode because here's the thing. I had an idea pop into my head, um, which is terrible. Um, that Are you familiar with Valakith in Dungeons and Dragons at all?
No.
All right, I'm gonna give you this short. Valakith is the queen of the Githyanki.
Okay.
Um, they look at her as almost a goddess figure, and she is not the she claims she is not the first Valakith.
Okay.
She is the first Valakith because she's a lich. So when a Githyanki, which she fosters this constantly, when a Githyanki gets very, very powerful, she just consumes them.
Okay.
So she can continue to stay powerful.
Yeah.
So like people wonder, like, well, what happened to so and so? And Valakith's like, they ascended into my belly.
Mm,
If I remember correctly, and if not, someone I'm sure will correct me because they're like,
doesn't matter because
technically.
that's what you're going with.
So my thought was I might need to retcon a little bit,
Okay.
and I think it might be an easy retcon because the end of the last episode, the mother has this conversation with Duo, because he's still drugged up from getting stabbed with drug spears and everything, and she's talking about how like you're one with the living force, and I gotta find this name. It's pissing me off. I know it's a Miro and Jarek. Goddamn, why can I never remember Jarek's stupid name? All right, Kyle Katar's main antagonist is Jarek, who we met in.
Oh yes,
multiple
with his funky shades.
Yeah, well, he's Miro Larkin, so he has no eyeballs.
Mm.
They're all blind. They're all. That's right, baby. They're all blind. I might try to work that in at some point as a NPC who has a Jimmy Hart style voice. Just because, like, I can't remember who was doing it during Extra Life, but I was like, "This is beautiful. This is beautiful, baby." So let me put this in. Also, I'm very tired, so my brain is a little slow today. Mira Larkin, I think is how you say it. Jedi, who was previously in this part of the unknown regions.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. All right, so I'm thinking, what if she is more like Valakith than she's led on? So I'm going to give James, like, I'll basically say, she gives a speech about how she's going to use James to recapture the glory of the Rakatans, and then she's going to use him to capture his buddies, his friends, his cohorts, and then she's just going to get more power from that, and then she's going to restart the Rakatan Empire, and then they're going to head back into the galaxy, and they're just going to fucking run roughshod over everybody.
Yeah, spread the miracle of soft, wet cheese to the universe.
Oh, soft wet cheese, baby. So what I'm gonna what I want to get across is, out of the 7 remaining Rakatans, there are only 1, 2, 3, 4 left, because they've been engaged in this great game where they've been killing each other. These are all similar. All of these have learned, like, if they can drain what little ability of the living force they can off of people, basically they're like leeches.
Yeah,
They've been able to live a very long time, so that means other people have been to this planet. And force sensitives from the races that are there that show up, they're like, oh, they take them in as they immediately seek them out as like apprentices and things like that, and then they just eventually just passively drain them dry, because they're just black holes. But because so many true force users have showed up at one time now, the things have changed.
okay.
And so I want her to basically be like, or him to like figure out him just because she's like, I'm gonna use you, and then we're gonna reactivate the ships, and then we're gonna fucking leave this dirtbag place, and we're gonna restart, and then we're gonna invade. And I want him to be like, you're lying. Like he can detect that she's being dishonest.
Okay.
And for her to go, oh, you're smart. I like that. And then go, yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm not telling you the entirety of the truth. I'm going to use you as a battery. And the other 2 Jedi out there that the force sensitive person and the other Jedi out there are going to be batteries as well. And any of your friends who can use the force, batteries. I am going to use you to make myself young again, and then I'm going to use you to help me kill the rest of the remaining 7. I'm going to absorb them as well, and then the last one we're going to do is we're going to go to the engineer, who is a Rakatan named Tedith, who lives in the last space where the Rakatan vessel in a sea. He's like under the sea in this massive ship.
Okay.
I'm going to kill him, and then there is an entire cohort of Rakatans basically frozen in life support. I'm going to wake them up, and then we're going to fly back into space because we will be able to pilot our ships because we'll have the force again. And I'm going to keep you alive in one of those chambers and just periodically drain you. You and all these others are going to be my battery until I can find more of you.
Yeah.
And we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way. Either I can hardwire you into my mech suit that I drive around because I'm like an old evil grandma, but I'll keep getting younger because I'm going to drain you. Or I can put you in a machine that, like a pod, that'll keep you docile, asleep. You won't even know I'm draining you, and it will also make sure you're drugged to the gills, so you'll be dreaming forever. So, because you were willing to have a conversation with me, I'm going to give you the option. So, you either become a dreamer or you become my consort. And by consort, it means I'm going to strap you to my mech machine. I feel like that's far more Star Warsy.
Yeah.
Of like an ancient race who's kind of like, oh gosh, I can come back to what we were. Rather than being like, I just want to conquer, because that feels Star Wars too, but almost like retreading old ground.
Sure.
Because I also want like her to be like, oh, so the Empire, like, so look what we did. We gave you all of this. And some of you took on the best of our traits. So when I show up, I will be the most powerful. So all of you will rebend the knee, or I'll just wipe you off the face of the galaxy. That's the choice now. It's a binary A or B. There is no fucking C or D. So the fact now I can just play her up to as like your force powers, because she's absorbed so much already. Rather than making her younger, she's used them basically to be a null field. So she was already kind of a null field, like the force did not work around her, but now she's just absorbing it and not using it. So she literally is just a black hole of the force.
Okay.
Except for it's all being put in one area.
And if she uses force powers, then that is going to drain from her overall supply. So she's going to get disincentive to do it.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's right now, Duo is the appetizer. So she's slow rolling, like she hasn't eaten in forever. And one thing I want to maybe even put in there is that one reason Jarek left this planet in such a hurry, and people said like he stole from them, is because he realized what was going on here. And he was like, oh shit, all of these people are like they're just force leeches.
Yeah.
And basically saying like the duelist is like the newest one and may be a son of the mother. Like the ancient and the engineer and the mother, they've been around since the first arrival. That they've been around forever. So, like when we get to the others, like the ancient has a library. It's the Great Repository. All the people who work in there are minorly force sensitive.
Okay.
So like it'll be easy for them to find if they reach out in the force, because it'll just be it'll be a big it'll glow, but it also is glowing like it's like this big glow that's being completely enveloped in darkness because he's a black hole in the force like the rest of them. But they're like, it's so many people in one place, they're like, holy shit. And he's doing this because he's like, oh, I'm grazing. I don't kill people. Like, I'm done with that. Like, I've evolved past like being a conquering monster. I am instead like preserving. And do these people die a little bit faster than normal? Yeah, sometimes that happens. But I also feed them, I clothe them. They're cattle.
Yeah.
But they're like cattle that he's concerned about. They're his people. But also they can't leave. And with the engineer, it's going to be the same thing. The engineer just has this, he takes on crew, but he has like, I think I'll refer to them as like hounds, and it'll just be, I'll have to look and see if there's like races, or I think the Nogri are force sensitive when it comes to that. I'd have to look really quick. Star Wars Nogri Why did it come up Star Wars Neogri Republican immediately? That's scary. Force sensitive. Let's see what it says. I always want to put an extra vowel in the Nogri. Do you know they have only made one appearance in non-literature?
Well, it's been just it was what's his name in Rebels and stuff, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they don't look like what I imagined them to. I imagined them to look like far more reptilian.
Mm.
Oh, apparently they also showed up in Andor.
Okay.
Or showed up in some media with Andor.
So, what if you did like, because there's a bunch of different like races of force sensitive animals.
Yeah, that's kind of
so
what I'm
what
looking.
If yeah, there's like there's the Vornsker from the Zahn stuff, those like wolf dog things.
Yeah.
There's other races too, or other species
So
too.
the
But yeah, something
engineer
like that.
has also bioengineered a version of the Vornsker that he has his hounds use to recruits on headhunts on a word I want to use either. What would be a good word for like actively headhunting or recruiting people? It doesn't sound so like sinister, even though it is.
Right.
Like I don't want to use the word conscript either. Or press gang, induct, enroll,
draft. I mean, I almost just kind of like engage.
I like engage. That's a really good word, Matt. Good call. There. I feel like that works. All right. I'll have to look up again what Vornsker looked like because I don't recall.
They just kind of look like a black.
Oh, look at that big hairy hound,
leathery dog thing. Yeah.
A good look to him. I don't remember, which big shock. I don't remember all of the details in those Zahn books anymore because it's been like forever since I read them.
Yeah.
You might have to go back and do the audio book.
Yeah, because that was the reason that the Salamiri or whatever.
I love the Salamiri. I think it's such a good.
Could do what they did because they were like the primary food source for the Vornsker. So the Vornsker would hunt using the Force.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why the Ysalamiri developed their ability to suppress it.
Why did this? I do not understand what, how, and why Dropbox just cut stuff like out of my documents, and I can't cut and paste into these documents.
Oh,
it's the most bizarre thing.
Yeah, that's friggin' weird.
So yeah, there's only 4 left. I'm gonna say like there was 8, not 7.
Okay.
Okay, there's the Gree. All right. So here's what I'm thinking. So we ended with sorry, I got kind of off track there for a second.
No.
Secrets. No, let's go up here to the strong start. So I've got two ways we can do the strong start, depending on how we want to go. The strong start could either be duo going, you're lying, or it could be the fact that the perimeter alerts just went off at Tolston Station, or Tolston, I think it was called. I can't remember now where they were, where the PCs ended. Tolston Outpost.
Okay.
Because the get of the mother have returned, and they were able to activate the defense systems. Finally, rewire the defense systems, and they're using like the power source from one of their vehicles to keep the automatic defenses going. So my thought is that our boy, our beautiful mustached boy, Neb Rubbins, basically is like, they will break. They are so many. We'll kill a bunch of them, but they eventually will break free.
Yeah.
I can reach out and send a signal, but we can only send it into the upper atmosphere. A distress call, and the Gree will most likely catch it, so we could get help. So what's our decision here? Do we send out the distress, or do we continue to
try and hold?
Yeah.
Because I guess it could be something where it's like you've got the energy to do one or the other.
Yeah. Also, I want to make sure like there's a realization that they find a slug thrower, like a rifle, like an actual rifle, hidden away with like a scope, so someone can go on top of the building and be like, ping, ping. I mean, which would you go with as your hot start? Realization or straight into combat?
Almost thinking straight into combat, get them to like realize what their choice is, but maybe don't.
Oh, damn. Okay,
let them make it, and then switch over to duo.
Okay. So we want to go the get are upon Tolston. I need to go back and watch a little bit more because I don't know where Nate is. Nate hit himself in the bodies of like the animals and everything from the big fight they had on the road where everybody got poisoned. Oh no. That was Colin did that. I don't know where Nate went. I have to go back and re-listen. Outpost. The defenses are firing, but the realization is that the power source will run dry before they can before they will be overrun. I keep on put Bree, but that's Nate's guy. Nub has figured out that they can reroute power to send a distress call into what would that be? What's the layer of the just outside the outer atmosphere? Layer outside the outer Godzilla mat.
Oh,
the exosphere.
Okay.
I knew there was a word for it. On a channel that the Gree monitor. This would hopefully lead to a What am I?
Or skew. And,
Yeah, I'm trying. There's a word for it when you pull people out. Evac.
oh yeah.
Evac. The issue is that they need whatever power they have left to do this. Also, they found a small cache of working slug throwers. Have them roll one d6. One will be a rifle with a scope. Okay, that's a strong start.
Yeah, I like that.
So it puts like pressure on the fact that like you can keep fighting and you're going to kill a lot of these guys. But there's probably more than we're gonna actually change this to assault on Tolston Outpost. How's the rest of your Saturday, Matt?
Oh, not too bad. You know, I came home and putzed around a little bit, took a nap.
Did Danny ever watch any of those horror movies that I recommended?
We haven't yet. We're
You
waiting for a gap in our schedule.
Been super busy.
We've been, watching other stuff. We've been in the middle of series and things like that, so we've been focusing elsewhere.
All right. The next scene is that we might have, which is like you said. The meanwhile, cut to Duo. The mother's a liar.
The mother's a liar.
Duo can tell that she is lying to him. If pressed, she will be impressed with his connection to the living force and reveal who and what she is. Well, that's an easy fix, I guess, for a bad, not bad, but a idea that definitely, I think, is going in a better direction now.
Yeah.
All right, next scene. So we have two options here. We're going to have to do the wonderful split. If the Gree are called. If the Gree are not called. Okay. If the Gree are called, they come down in an evac vehicle to pick up the PCs. This has no ranged weapons on it, as it is a hauler vehicle.
Okay.
If the PCs mess about, then the get. I don't remember exactly how a railgun works. It like ionizes stuff, right?
I thought it was like that. You would have it's a magnetic deal. So there's like a magnetic thing on either side of a shell, and it uses the magnetic force to, rocket this thing down a rail.
Okay. Let me get. See, I'm trying to think of like a rail gun more in line with like what a like almost like a catapult version of a rail gun, where they're just maybe even like ionizing like just chunks of debris and then using this thing to fire it along a rail gun.
I mean, a railgun could, theoretically do that because it is just a magnetic,
Okay,
field. Or I mean, since it's Star Wars,
it can be whatever.
Well, they could be doing that with like a tractor beam, sort of.
The Get are like low tech, but the Mother is not.
Okay.
So I kind of envision them like very Planet of the Apes, like having a cannon on a cart, and another cart just pulling like debris.
Yeah, so it's
loading this thing on. It like fires them up into these ionized balls, and then just fires them out like a cannonball, like a catapult. So even if they miss, they're going to land somewhere.
Yeah, it's like those. Well, it's the old school. Was it muskets or whatever?
Yeah,
or they were just like load shit into them.
Yeah,
and,
shot was basically just like pieces.
Yeah,
it's like it's like when you make something full of nails and you just fire it out into I hope somebody doesn't get hit by this shit. Utilize their rail gun on a cart to fire ionized debris at the evac ship. The ship will head back up to retrofit itself with offensive capabilities, but they let the PCs know that this will take possibly an hour. The generator at the outpost dies and will need up to 10 hours to recharge.
Ooh.
All right. Degree or not called. What happens if degree or not called, Matt? This is like the shootout. This is like the Alamo at this point.
Yeah, I mean, what can they do? I mean, they've got their slug throwers. They're gonna get overrun. Is there maybe like a way they could like sneak out and try and
Well, I'm kind of hoping that Colin calls out to the Rancors in the forest, and we get a fucking just.
So you've got that potential.
Yeah. We get the Mandalorian or the Boba Fett finale done correctly.
Is are like the these guys in league with the Mother, or
they're the Get of the Mother?
Okay, so it might just be that they get overrun and captured and taken to the Mother.
Yeah,
because that's the end goal.
Been instructed to capture, not kill.
But they can hurt them.
As the Mother wants to examine them for any more force sensitives. All right. Oh shit, Matt dropped off. We lost our specialist boy. I'm not sure what happened. He may actually hit a button. But anyway, we'll keep on trucking because it's not been an hour yet. So maybe he was like, it's been long enough. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I just accidentally hit a button or something here, I guess.
I thought you were just like, it's been 35 minutes. It's been long enough.
No. I'm not doing that.
All right.
Come on.
So, the Get will fight to the last man, and there are plenty of Meng. I don't want to put the PCs in a completely like railroady situation.
Right.
If the PCs can come up with an interesting idea.
Well, yeah, that leaves you room in case the Rancors get called or whatever.
Something insanely fun, then allow them to pull off their very own massacre. All right, what's our next scene here? Because I think it would kind of depend on the Grease situation. Well, you know, really, I don't think it does. I think the Grease show up. It causes the Get to pull back so they can fire off their doomsday machine, which would give the PCs a chance to fucking be like, we're out.
Yeah.
They can either jump on the evac ship or they can, you know, which may or may not then get fucking destroyed. You know, I kind of envision like rockets being shot at a helicopter during an evac, and any of the many, you know, brush fire wars that the United States has involved themselves in repeatedly because we're an imperialist power. I hate to tell everybody whoever watches this, we are the Empire. Sucks to realize you're the bad guys. That famed shining house on the hill, that's the Death Star. That's who and what we are. We just happen to be the people that are the contractors that built the thing. I can't remember the comedian was who talked about, like, think of all the contractors who were working on the second Death Star.
I mean, I know it came up in like
Clerks 2 or something like that. Yeah. Who were horribly killed when rebels showed up. And think about, because you know a stormtrooper isn't installing a toilet.
Yeah, it's just no, you're not going to do that. No, it's all going to be just dudes.
I mean, not even the lowly Imperial army would do that.
Oh no, they would not. They would absolutely not bother.
All right, so I think this: if the Gree evac vehicle gets there, I am assuming the PCs would tell the NPCs to get on board first. Probably, except for maybe Ryan. That's just Ryan's character in this game. I think we would do a thing where I would like, I don't know how I would do it, but I would try to randomize it a little bit who can get on, who can't. Okay. And I might even have it to where, like, because Ryan's a pilot. So I would give him a much better chance if he goes to the front of the hauler and is like, get the fuck out of the chair. Which plays into him being a pilot, you know, a lot more.
Well, or I mean, depending on how you wanted to play it, it could even be like the pilot gets wounded during the landing or something, so he has to. Yeah, I mean, I would be more into that if the Get had slug throwers, but they're just straight up using like spears and stuff. Oh, I don't know what that noise was. Oh, that was my computer. Okay, I thought it was my computer. I was like, what the fuck is that new noise? What fresh hell is this, Matt? All right, so I'll figure that out on the fly. If the Gree are not called,
We get our Alamo moment. And if the PCs do something wild, they could potentially, get their way out of it. Otherwise, it's just going to be overrun. So I think the next step would be then probably it would need to be a duo scene.
Yeah.
Hey, Super Spike.
Yeah, more than Spike.
So what would a good duo scene be with the mother? Would this be the reveal? Like he's caught her lying and now she's like, okay, fine. You know what? You want to know the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I mean, yeah, feels like it. That's where you're at.
And she will. I need to do something in between there because I don't want his scene to feel like we're cutting away from him when it's like so small. And I can figure out what Nate's doing.
Well, so you could I guess you could just put Nate in there as like a,
Nate scene.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna move that Nate scene up here. Nate scene.
Whatever that may entail.
Yeah. All right. Connection living force. She will start laughing, which then proceeds into literal insane guffawing. Nate scene. Then we go back to the assault on Tulsa Outpost. Then we will go back to duo. The truth. Once she stops laughing, the mother will reveal all to duo.
Whether you're a mother or whether you're a brother.
She will also let him know that the sluggishness he feels is her. She is bracking him.
Bracking him.
Him.
Everybody's favorite
feeble. That's right.
Adult Swim character.
Brack dancing. Bring him in his feeble mental defenses. Have him do a roll to attempt to keep himself from breaking completely. She feels like a repeated tidal wave against crumbling walls made of sand. Does that make any sense? Does that sound good?
Yes.
She offers him, because of his valiant efforts, a choice. Become her first. So what's a good word? I don't want to use battery. What would be something something like, because I love like get, because me using get came from D&D. The gnolls who follow Yingao are called the get of Yingao. I just love that turn of phrase. Maybe it's because the G's like pull so hard. So I want it to be, and get also are like are your children, basically.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we look at synonyms for children. Those words are weak. Those are weak sauce. I like Scion a lot. That feels very, very Star Wars.
Yeah.
Neonate also feels very, very Star Wars. Progeny feels very, very Star Wars. If we were playing Oz, it would be Kitty Wink. Because that is a great word. The only thing about Scion and all those, it feels like you're going to eventually take over. You know what I mean?
Right.
Neonate's not bad though. I like neonates like you're an infant.
Yeah, Bloom?
Oh God, Bloom's good. Ooh, Matt.
Or Bud?
I think Bloom's better because they're not just little. They're not buds. She explains. Oh man, my typing is terrible. Explains that he will be put in a treasured artifact where he will sleep and dream his what so kind of also started like thinking of like the Black Mercy, where he would dream his ultimate desires, I guess.
Yeah, Ultimate Desire or Perfect World or
Perfect World's better. Perfect World for time in memoriam. I don't think I spelled that right. Is it in memoriam spelled that way?
oh no, it's
memoria. Oh, it's 2 words.
Yeah.
Also, I misspelled memoriam. It's IA. IA. What are you working on, Matt? Dreamy dream.
I'm working on eBay stuff as usual.
You will never know pain. The passage of time. Nor what's one of the bad thing that we feel, nor aging.
Or fear or loss.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Especially if you're
He will
Jedi.
be
You don't want that fear.
her perfect bloom.
Anger.
Should he or if Duo decides to refuse, then he will become her consort. He will be strapped in a bizarre techno organic cocoon that will attach to the mother's exoskeleton and have his connection to the Force subverted directly into her. That's pretty gross. That's a pretty horrible way to get done.
It is. I mean, you could, if you wanted to really sell it or something, if they get into some kind of an altercation, there could be these cells on the armor already with like a desiccated.
Oh, that's really good, Matt. She points to one empty.
Or it could even just be like, this one's dry, and hit a button.
Exoskeleton, and another that holds a. Would it be vivisected or dissected? I can't remember. Not even dissected. What happens when it I'll just put holds a.
I mean, it could be a husk. Yeah.
Of its previous occupant. Okay. Nate scene. I just misspelled. This is the problem, Matt. I've gone through this for the last 2 weeks. I can't spell anymore. I used to be a pretty good speller. I won a spelling bee at one point. But it's not only am I a bad speller, I'm getting to the point where I'm a terrible typer. I used to be a pretty good typer. It's like I can't get my brain to do things in a proper order anymore.
I mean, you're definitely you've got a big adjustment that you're dealing with right now. Because you haven't had to go into the office for literally years.
Yeah, 5 years plus.
Yeah, so that's
Whenever I write the words Nate scene, all I can think of is is it Adam Sandberg? No, is it Andy Samberg?
Andy Samberg
doing the Roy Rules. Nate scene. See, that's the thing. I should know that his name is Andy Samberg.
I mean,
it's frustrating. That's all I'm saying.
I imagine so. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on.
I feel like I'm constantly reaching for books in the library, and no matter what, I know what the card catalog number is, I know what the title is, but no matter what book I grab, it's the wrong fucking book. And it's just
I think it's a good idea to keep an eye on that. And
I already reached out to my neurologist, and I was like, we probably need to go through all that testing again, because I am noticing I'm not just noticing holes now. I'm noticing significant holes.
Yeah.
And that's not real fun to think about.
No.
Especially considered all the men on my dad's side died before the age of 60. All my mom's side is rampant with Alzheimer's. So I played that genetic lottery and I lost. I fought the genetics, and the genetics definitively have won. All right. Anyway, so I want to end, I think, with the majority of the group with this business.
Okay.
So where can we find, should it be the road back to the temple or them arriving at the temple? Should we just skip the whole road thing where they're captured? Or, if they're not captured, of them just following the get back to the road, or following the road back to the temple?
I think so. Just to get everybody back together and kind of, because the more of that you get into, the more likely it is that they're gonna, again, I know you don't want a railroad, but you also have a goal in, to get them to a place.
Yeah.
So.
They wouldn't be the away team. They would be what's the Star Trek term for the non-away team? They're just the people on the ship.
Yeah, the command.
We're just gonna call them. What is Ryan's dude's name? Nando, the Nando Squad.
Nando Squad.
Those team arrive at the entrance of the temple. They are to express just how old and decrepit this place is. Even walking into it feels like moving into another more primitive 1-2 type time. If the Get were virtually wiped out, there are few to none of them left in the temple. Make sure to point out that Brog is hanging in a cage above a large pit, and looks almost feral. Isn't her name Vens? I can never remember. It's just so sad. They remember this other NPC's name more than I do. Yep, it's Vens. Vens has a large spear in her side that pins her in another swinging cage. If they approach, the smell hits them first. It is of refuse, decay, and rotten meat. If they look into the pit, they see shapes that were once people milling about and fighting like animals over what they can surmise is parts of people who were thrown in. Matt, have you ever seen The Loved Ones?
No.
It's an Australian horror about a girl and her dad who kidnapped the boy that she wanted to go to this dance with, and then they horrifically torture him for her own little prom at home. Like nail his feet to the floor while he's in a chair.
Jesus.
It's pretty rough. Towards the end of the movie, spoilers, they find I can't remember if he finds her or they open it up. There's a big like hatch in the kitchen floor, and underneath is a pit, and it's full of all the other boys that she's ever brought home, and they've all been basically lobotomized, and they're just wandering around in this dark pit.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's Australian horror generally goes hard, and this movie does not disappoint. It's also very good. I kind of want that vibe. It's like here's like Get who either got too old or were found wanting by the mother, and they just got or even prisoners, they just got tossed in this pit, and so now you have like these super like survivalistic monsters, basically like just living in this thing that are almost like dogs, like attack dogs trapped in this pit, eating whatever scraps are thrown to them. I think that's where we're going to end. I feel like we
Nice.
got a lot. Also, we got to find the Nate scenes. Matthew,
I mean,
would this be a Star Wars you would be interested in?
potentially, but again, it's more of a when will I feel like I have the time?
Matthew,
That's me. That's my problem.
Matthew,
Yeah.
you always have time in my heart, which I can't make a shape of.
Yeah, I can't really either.
My fingers don't work that way.
I think we all need to take this advice that I saw posted on Blue Sky. It's that we all need to move forward with the confidence of the Democratic Party sending a fundraising email in November.
Did they really?
to some people, I'm sure, yeah.
God damn it. They make me so mad. That's the thing that makes me so mad. It's just the incompetence.
Yeah.
The vast breadth and scope.
I mean, there's a lot going on
the
here, but
well, you have multiple arms of that party kind of wrestling with one another. You have corporate Democrats. You have, that's the thing I will say. I had this conversation a while back with somebody. I said, the thing about the Republicans is they're all just dumb and power hungry enough that if someone becomes the alpha in their group, they just go, sure, whatever, man.
Yeah.
It means less work for me. I just got to do what I'm told. They don't have the imagination and the willpower to, there's no transformative figures.
Not really.
Democratic Party is full of people who think they're transformative figures. Who, the thing I do admire about a lot of them, especially more towards further left, is they do want better. The problem is they're the minority, and the corporate Democrats, they don't give a shit. They just don't. They just want to stick it out as long as they can. They want to continue to make money off their stocks. They love gridlock just as much as the Republicans do because it makes sure that nothing really gets done.
Well, they don't have to do anything.
Yeah, and then they can blame it on the Republicans, just like the Republicans blame it on the Democrats. This is the ultimate folly of the two-party system. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that in the next year we see people like Bernie Sanders, who's already an independent, basically just say, I'm done. I'm done. We're going to have a third party in this country.
I mean, it sounds like he is, but he also said that the focus on identity politics, specifically, he did say, basically he said we should throw trans people under the bus.
Did he really?
I saw something to that effect. Yeah, like that was a loser for it. It's like, okay, dude, fuck you.
This is the thing. It's like, I'm sorry to turn this last little bit into politics. This is the thing, though. I agree with Sam Cedar when he said this. You have to be able to, when you're looking at an election, you have to be able to differentiate what is about you as a person as opposed to the lesser of evils to vote for. And I agree with that. The problem is, I from a purely objective viewpoint agree with that. Like if I'm just thinking like pure objectiveness, from a humanistic point of view, from my personal point of view, fuck you.
Well, and
I disagree. If we don't stand for something, we stand for nothing.
And every the state lower level races where they did run on that stuff, and were very outspoken about it, they won.
Well, I think the problem though,
the national campaign was like, let's keep, we got Dick Cheney, we're gonna do all this anti-immigration stuff. It's like, don't like that. You're never gonna like. Why would they? You're never gonna go
keep the status quo in Gaza.
You're never gonna go right enough to peel off enough of that for it to matter.
Also, what I feel like if you're running against a party where people go to rallies and cover their face, then pollsters don't matter.
Well,
because they're just going to lie. It is an entire movement based upon a lie. So a lot of those people just lie because that's what great, powerful, leader has told them to do and has shown them lying's okay. I watched Mike Johnson lie about the CHIPS Act on TV and had to be corrected by a Republican standing next to him who said, "No, I'll fight you like hell on that." And then less than 2 hours later, Mike Johnson on another program said, "Well, I never said that. That's not what I said." And no one at any point said,
No,
"We can roll the fucking tape."
well, yeah, that's
You're
the thing.
lying.
The information environment is really, really bad, and I don't know how you fix that because
Everyone takes classes from Mehdi Hassan. That's what happens.
A lot of people are now like they're the Google metrics in terms of searches for like tariffs have gone. So you have a lot of people who are now like, well, wait, what did I sign up for here?
Because you're an idiot.
Well, yeah, but how do you like? It doesn't matter now that the choice has been made. So it's like, what do you do for the next time to get them, to get those people?
So this is another thing that Cedar said that I do agree with is we are in the age where the only people who define and settle elections are the uninformed.
Seems like it.
Because the informed on both sides of the aisle are going to vote. They know what they stand for. They know who they're voting for. It should always be a race now, unfortunately, to the uninformed. And unfortunately, the uninformed also are people who don't want to be informed.
Well, but I mean, it was less votes overall, and a lot of people who did vote for Biden switched. So there's a lot going on here that's going to have to be,
Well, you have one party who they build everything on a lie, consistently just lying. Like you fuckers out here thought that Trump was like, I don't know what Project 2025 is. I've never heard of it. What is 2025? No, what's the year 2025? I don't even know that.
Most people don't even know what that is, though.
It's the most terrifying shit. And they're ready to do it on day one. They built it to do, and these are the people who made sure he got elected. These are the Miriam Adelsons out there who are like, oh,
they're sure as shit gonna try. They're not as competent as they act like they are, but
they're more competent than they were 4 years ago.
Yeah,
and that's the scariest thing. And it's like they said too. Another commentator, I don't remember who it was saying, I don't think Trump survives 4 years, and not because he gets assassinated. I think he's sick.
Yeah.
But he thinks that what the sad thing is that JD Vance is waiting in the wings.
Yeah, but he doesn't have the same juice, so I don't necessarily think that.
You don't need the juice though when you've got Peter Thiel money.
Well,
because Daddy will tell him what to do. He is literally a sock puppet of a human being. Peter Thiel's got his hand up JD Vance's ass and he moves his mouth for him.
Right, but I don't know that he's got enough to
But he doesn't need to. That's the thing, because so much was lost in this election. It doesn't.
Butts and seats. You still need to get people to vote.
Not if you're already in office.
Well,
because he'll be if Trump.
Yeah.
Then he'll be in office without being elected, and it won't fucking matter.
Well, yeah, but again, we're still looking at 4 years, and then we'll have to
wrote the fucking forward to Project 2025.
I know.
No, and I'm not trying to be super negative about it, but what I'm saying is it's going to be rough. The next 4 years are going to be rough.
It is. Absolutely.
So let's wrap up with Star Wars. They get to the temple. Do we have the mother show up at the very end in her big suit with Duo in the pod? Because I know James, and James is going to be like, "Oh, those are my two options. Eat a dick,"
Right?
And then so she'll be like, "All right, put him in the pod."
You could, I guess, you could. I mean, yeah, you could. That would leave it vague as to what choice he did make.
Well, and then the whole thing is the fight is the next episode is just a fucking fight at the beginning. The fight in the aftermath. I think that's where we go.
I think that's good, because then you got to get him out of there to reduce the
what we would call it,
her power and
the grand reveal. The mother waltzes into the temple from the nest with Duo in the one of the two pods on her exoskeleton. I just can't see James going, you know what? Fine. I'll be one of your blooms. Put me in the forever happy machine, whatever. I just don't give a shit anymore.
Oh, no, he's not going to do that.
James is going to make spit in the eye, like, let's fucking do this, because I think it's more like, you know what? Even if I'm in one of these pods, eventually you're going to slip up.
Yeah.
And when you do, I'm going to fucking murder you. I'm doing in the two pods on her exoskeleton. She rubs her mechanical gauntlets together and says, so many delectables before me. The real question is, who do I eat first? I think we're good there. So then we just got secrets. I can do that. And I got to find out where Nate is. Nate's seen. Matt, I kept you long. I am so sorry.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I if I had a real hard out, I would have dipped, but I got a buffer, so it's fine. Yeah. No, I'm glad you got a base here, and
the nice thing is next week we don't have to prep for Chaos Scar because it's been put off for so long. I have like 3 fucking episodes. What a world. Maybe next Sunday, do you want to talk about DC?
We can, sure.
So we can talk about DC. We can talk about how Mountain Monsters went. Maybe we'll just talk about what we thought went well, what maybe some alterations we would need to make to those games, and also maybe just some idea fodder for those games. Because now, after James said it yesterday, now all I want in my head is just screaming, I want another Mountain Monsters game as fast as possible. and I want it to be revolved around trying to find the Yeti. Which is just a 7-foot tall guy wrapped in, what makes me want it to be like it is that actual wrestler. What is it, Ron Reese? And he's just like had weird nightmares, and he keeps waking up, and he's like, I'm covered in blood, and I'm just like in my trailer park, I don't know what's happened. And he's just like he's like being like there's like a dream demon actually ends up being the bad guy. And
he was also the super ninja at one point.
He was also just Reese in the flock. But this evil aspect of Eric Bischoff which means a real evil aspect, not just regular Eric Bischoff, has latched on to Ron Reese and is like feeding on him. I'm sure I can find a dream demon thing, because I believe that's like a lot of that shit is Wes Craven took some stuff from different cultures to do that. Which means to me there's got to be something in the Appalachian area of something that attacks you through your dreams. I don't even know if I should probably look up, is Ron Reese still alive? Because it would be bad if he was dead. It would be in bad taste.
Still alive as far as I can tell. He was a super giant ninja. He was Big Ron Stud.
I forgot he was Big Ron Stud. God damn it, what a good name. Super Ninja had a great outfit.
Big Bomb Jones.
He was also managed by my best friend, Sonny Ono.
And he reemerged in Vince Russo's Christian-oriented Ring of Glory wrestling promotion as the abstract character Evil.
The abstract character Evil.
I'm just very confused that there's a Christian-themed wrestling promotion. But
Oh, you've never seen any of that?
no.
Oh my god!
Also, maybe at one point Vanilla Gorilla.
I had that nickname for a long time way back in the day. Before King, before Iron Fist, there was Vanilla Gorilla. So for like 7 years I had the nickname. It was just Fist for a long time because no one wanted to say Iron Fist all the time. But oh my god!
Is that like when Hogan went to Compton and claimed that they gave him they shortened his Hollywood nickname to Wood?
No, it was just the people I ran around with were just like, that's too much. Those are too many words.
Too much.
Mm-hmm. Matthew, where can people find your beautiful self?
Mostly here.
Oh, by the way, Matt, Mang is moving to Thursdays.
Oh, all right.
Because of Colin's work schedule. So it'll be Spoop 1 week, Mang the next. Continue to rotate. So if you ever want to come on, hang out. Much like many of our friends, there is a constant open door policy. So
so I'm here most Sundays. I'm on the Dave Wonder channel every other week, including this coming Tuesday for Chop Chop. And
what are you working on?
I don't know. We'll see. I got a bunch of shit floating around. I've been eBay focused today, so I'll clean tomorrow and organize and regroup.
You need a thing just to put up that says eBay. Don't got time to bleed.
And then you can find me.
Just you and one of those Jesse Ventura like military hats with just a bunch of Big League Chew in your mouth.
You can also find me on Blue Sky.
Matt, we need to talk about Blue Sky off this because I'm thinking like because I'm gonna maybe doing some stuff.
The Warriors already over there. Christy's there.
Also, what the fuck is Mastodon besides a kick-ass band?
Mastodon is another social media site. It's a little more involved, federated. Like I tried it for a little bit and I just couldn't get like a handle on it. There's a little bit more like technical stuff to get going and to find people and stuff, and I wasn't really into it. Blue Sky is really just it's very similar to Twitter. It doesn't have quite all the functionality, but there's a lot of comic artists and writers over there. AEW wrestlers and stuff have started moving over there.
So people we might know.
Yeah. Clark's there.
Clarkski.
Flava Flav just joined.
Baby.
So, it's a good environment. They've got, the way blocks work there is really nice as opposed to like Twitter where like they, especially now that they've, further degraded that. And also the Blue Sky moderation team is not like spectacular, but if you report somebody for being a shit, they'll actually get rid of them. Unlike on Twitter where like death threats and being a fucking Nazi aren't a big deal.
It's a badge of honor on Twitter.
But with if you block somebody, they can no longer see your posts at all. So they can't do the thing where they're like, I'm going to like screenshot your shit and send
you know why Twitter changed, right?
Oh yeah.
Because Musk needed to see all of his.
Well, no, he wants everybody to see him.
Yeah, he wanted to be able to see all of his previous partners' information again.
He'd be able to. I mean, he would have been able to do that anyway. But no, he wants everybody to have to see him.
Yeah, well, that too. He's gross. He's so gross.
Yeah, he's
such a gross fucking
gross weirdo, and I hope he overdoses on ketamine.
We can only hope. That's the other thing I worry about. Not to get back on that real quick, but like think about the people he's putting into power. RFK Jr. and no more fluoride in the water because I don't.
Well, my fingers crossed hopes there is that there's some egos involved, and I know Mr. Donald does not like people who compete much with him. So
You needed that money, baby.
yes, but now
Why he promised Miriam Adelson the Golden Heights and delivered. So.
But now he's got what he wanted. So what's to stop him from just being like, yeah, sorry.
I think it's because he's broke as fuck.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, this has not been political talk. It's just Matt and I are, like everybody else with a heart in this nation, kind of pissed off. So pissed off, slightly scared, more just pissed off. So Matthew, like I said, hopefully we'll get you on Spook Troop soon. Hopefully we'll get you on Mang at some point.
Yeah,
also know you're busy as hell. I want to know when Danny and you watch some of these movies I've suggested, so I can hear back your thoughts.
I've got the tabs here to remind myself to watch them, so it'll happen.
Also, I need from you, and I've been bugging you about this for a while. I need a video of the walkthrough.
Oh yes, I mean it is coming to a point where I'm actually happy with how things are looking. So, and I did just finish lighting my Marvel Legends shelves again. So
I will lie and say it's for the young gentleman, but the reality is, Matthew, this is for me and my brother-in-law Joe, who every time I show that video to, he's just like, God damn. His brain melts, and you see like this childlike joy pop onto his face. I also think it would be, I mean, you know, and this is just me spitballing and keeping Minnesota goodbying you to death. What a cool like little entrance for you though. Whenever you come on a show, is just like a first person walkthrough of your room. It is your equivalent of Goldberg in the back getting let out by security. You know, you could even use a shitty like version of Goldberg's music, which means Goldberg's music, and just do it like a thing where you walk out. Matt has his own fucking entrance theme and everything. I think this idea, Matt, has money written all over it. And by money, I mean I want this, and you should do it with your time. I know, Spike. Stop. I know. I'm a terrible host. Matthew,
no. You're a wonderful host and friend.
Matthew, have a good rest of your Sunday.
You too.
Lovely wife, I said hello.
I will.
Do something for yourself beyond just eBay.
I will. Well, we're gonna go get our updated shots today. So
nice.
Before again, I have to go down that road, but before we can't. Ha ha.
Nice. Jesus Christ, Matt. I think now, like I'm gonna have to get a timer out, and we can only rant for 5 minutes about this.
Yeah. But yes, I hope you enjoy your day as well. And Spike, thank you for joining us. And enjoy
Christy
your weekend as well, everybody who may or may not still be watching.
Yeah, I think I might close up shop here and then maybe stream a little Minecraft. Since I Minecraft with Doug last night for a little while.
Oh yeah,
I made it back home, everybody.
You're liking this mod too from the sound.
Yeah, I need to learn more about the create mod, how to make things, but also like Doug went in and took a lot of the stuff he cheated for us to have it at Extra Life, because he like gave us like 5 stacks of diamonds and all this, because he was like, I just want to make this stuff and I don't want to have to go fucking get all of it.
Right.
But I need to go, and maybe I'll go in today, because like I literally had to find my way back home via boat. Not a good idea for me, who can get lost in a room with one door. But I made it back, and I think we might only have one villager left.
Oh no.
Who I've now trapped in the house I built for all the villagers. They're all dead, which is just like, no. I also put like a fucking farm on the roof. So like they don't even have to leave the house to farm. I put Sheepus underneath our house because we have one of those houses on stilts.
Sure.
Cassandra's mad because she's building a modern house, and like because the mods on there, you can literally just build like a modern style house. So it's like all glass, like beautiful, like extended glass windows, and they're not built like Minecraft glass. They're built like straight up like realistic glass. But she's like, you ruined my view of Doug Strange. And I have to admit, I kind of did. But I want to build like
I get
down,
some HOA going here in the.
and I got to build fences around her just to keep everybody fucking safe. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna piddle around on that in about 20 minutes for like an hour or so until my lovely better half rises from her tomb, and demands tribute of some kind. Plus, I got to watch more of that Hidden Path video so I can find what the fuck Nate is doing, because I've lost all recollection, complete recollection of what Nate was up to in that game. Because I'm pretty sure he escaped somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, Matthew, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for, as always, being the invisible hand that stirs the pot. And I will talk to you soon. Also, again, thank you for the bounty.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling this off on Thursday. Unfortunately, I will just say, I immediately took the Rey Mysterio apart. So sorry, folks, you're not going to see that sweet Mysterio.
Yeah.
But
it's a nice figure, but nothing super.
I do have 2 boxes to open, and I'm going to give a preview of one thing that Matthew sent over. Dun, 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 dun.
Gotta love the Zodiac.
The Zodiac. I think, honestly, Matt, I think he just needs some armor, and then he is straight up a He-Man villain.
Go.
He is straight up a wacky, like, Plundar style He-Man villain.
Oh, he totally could.
Also, like, I find a belt piece for this, and I think he's done as soon as I can figure out how to get the shine off.
Nice.
I think this guy is. I think Buff Arabian Wizard is done.
Yeah,
I think he looks great. I really do. I like the fact that I can kind of sweep this cloak back, and now he looks like Buff Arabian Wizard Gunfighter. Draw your wand. All right, man. Have a good one. I love you, buddy. Thanks for hanging out.
Man. Have a good weekend.
You too.
Bye, buddy.
All right, to everyone else, thank you for hanging out. Lady Christie, Super Spike as always. Anyone else who jumped in and jumped out because they were like, "Oh, you fucks are talking about politics. I'm out." Or whatever. Tomorrow night, Star Wars, Hidden Path, Episode 5. We'll see what happens. We got a little bit of work left to do. So I am going to take about a 10, 15, 20-minute break. And then I think I'm going to Minecraft stream Bad at Games for a little bit, like an hour or so. Where I hope to see some of you there. I hope, if not, you are having a wonderful rest of your Sunday, and mentally preparing for Monday, because it's going to be here real quick. All right. Thanks. And see you next Sunday. Hopefully see you Monday. Hopefully see you in like 20, 30 minutes. Boop. But for sure, maybe tomorrow night. For sure, maybe tomorrow night for Star Wars. I think it's going to be really good. All right. See Bombus to all, and to all good Bombus.